Welcome to the world of Mantis gardening. In the next few minutes, you'll learn more about your new Mantis tiller. And you'll see how Mantis can help you turn your property into a showplace. Of course, a video can't give you all the details. That's why we've also provided the Mantis Owner's Manual. Your manual covers the same topics you'll see in this video, but it goes into greater depth. So it's your chief authority on your Mantis tiller. While you're watching this video, have your manual handy. Then, after you've watched the video all the way through, go back and read the manual thoroughly. Now, before you go any further, please review the Mantis care and safety rules. You'll find these rules in your Mantis Owner's Manual. Please read these rules before you use your tiller. This is very important. Now, let's look at the tiller itself. Since it tills and weeds your gardens, we call it the Mantis Tiller Cultivator, or the Mantis Tiller for short. Here's what you'll learn to do. 1. Assemble your Mantis tiller. 2. Start it. 3. Use it. And 4. Maintain it. The first step is assembly. Your tiller comes almost fully assembled. All you need to install are the handlebars, the carrying handle, and the tines. First, take all items out of the carton, but don't remove the cardboard from around the tiller's base. Check to make sure you have all the parts you need. You should have 1 engine assembly, 2 upper handles, 2 lower handles, 1 pair of tines, 1 handle brace, 1 plastic carrying handle, and 1 bag of hardware. Now you can assemble your tiller. You'll need 2 7/16" wrenches or 2 adjustable wrenches. Start with the lower handles. Use the protective cardboard sleeve to stabilize your tiller. Lay out all of the parts in the hardware bag. You'll need one of the handle clamps and one of the lower handles. Note that the lower handle has a short leg on one end. Fit the handle clamp along the outside of the short leg. Line up the holes on the clamp and the leg. Now, choose one of the 2 3-inch bolts. Slide it through the first hole near the elbow where the lower handle curves. Now take the other lower handle and slide it onto the 3-inch bolt. Next, fit the other clamp on the other handle's short leg. Then add a nut and tighten, finger tight. Don't tighten nuts completely with a wrench until you've finished putting your tiller together. Next, locate the worm gear housing. It starts just above the tiller's red hood, and it extends right down through the hood. You'll notice that there is a recessed channel on either side of the top of this housing. Now, take the lower handles that you've just put together, slide them into the 2 recessed channels. Now, slide the second 3-inch bolt through the second set of holes in the short leg. Add a nut and tighten finger tight. Now you're ready to assemble the upper handles and the plastic carrying handle. In this step, we'll refer to the right lower handle. When you stand on the fuel tank side of the tiller looking down at the engine, the right lower handle is the one closest to the gas cap. First, put on the carrying handle. Lightly squeeze the lower handles toward one another. Next, slide the carrying handle over and down the lower handles. Now, get the upper handle that is attached to the throttle cable and wire. You'll attach the throttle handle to the lower handle that's located on the right side of the tiller, or the one that's closest to the gas cap. Next, you'll need one of the round top bolts. Note that just below the round top, the bolt has 4 sides. Slide the bolt into the square hole in the upper handle with the throttle, making sure that the 4 sides of the bolt fit snugly into the hole so that it doesn't turn. Hold the bolt in place while you insert it into the hole in the lower handle. Remember to attach it to the lower handle that's closest to the gas cap. Now, get one of the two black handle knobs. Screw the handle knob onto the bolt. Make sure the bolt stays seated in the square hole so it doesn't turn as you screw on the knob, and tighten the knob securely by hand. Follow the same steps to install the other upper handle to the other lower handle. Use the clip to secure the throttle cable and wire in place on the lower handle. Next, install the handle brace. Line it up with holes on the upper handles. Then insert a nut and bolt on either side. Make sure you've assembled the handles properly. When you stand behind the tiller holding the handles, you should face the fuel tank side of the engine. Now use wrenches to tighten all nuts and bolts firmly and securely. And make sure both handle knobs are tight and secure. Next, assemble the tines. First, remove the cardboard from around the tiller's base. You'll notice that each tine has a round hole on one side and a flat-topped hole on the other side. Slide the tines onto the axle shafts. The hole with the flat top goes onto the outside. Make sure that the tine points curve toward the front of the tiller. Now, secure each tine to the axle by inserting a retaining pin. Your tines are now correctly installed for tilling. Later on, we'll show you how to switch the tines to the weeding or cultivating position. In the meantime, you're ready to fuel the engine. A rugged two-cycle engine powers your new Mantis tiller. For this type of engine, you must mix two-cycle engine oil with gasoline in a separate container. Never ever run your tiller on gas alone. Your Mantis tiller comes with a handy pre-measured bottle of engine oil. Here's how to mix the oil with the gas. Pour 1 gallon of fresh unleaded gasoline into a clean gasoline can. Add the pre-measured engine oil. Screw the cap onto the gasoline can. Then swirl the can to blend the oil and gas. And you're all set. Remember, you must use the correct oil and gas mixture. If you do not, your engine will suffer rapid, permanent damage, and you will void the engine warranty. When you need more engine oil, you can order it directly from Mantis. Just call 1-800-366-6268 toll-free and ask for the sales department.
Now, start your tiller for the first time. First, fill the fuel tank with a proper oil and gas mixture. Then, hand tighten the gas cap just until it's snug. Don't over-tighten. At the top of the handle, you'll see the Start-Stop or I/O switch. Place the I/O switch into the I or Start position. Next, locate the choke button at the front of the engine. Pull it out to close the choke. Now, find the small plastic bubble on the upper right of the engine, in front of the fuel tank. This bubble is like a primer. It sends fuel into the carburetor so your tiller will start right up. Press the bubble 6 to 15 times, or until you see the fuel coming through the fuel line. Now, give the starter cord 2 or 3 short, brisk pulls until the engine catches and then dies. Then, push the choke button in to open the choke. Finally, pull the starter cord again. The engine should start and run. To stop your tiller, simply push the Start-Stop switch to stop. If that should ever fail to work, just pull out the choke button. Then, the engine will stop instantly. And here's a special safety feature. Even when the engine is running, the tines won't turn unless you press the throttle lockout button and squeeze the throttle lever on the handlebars. Whenever you start your Mantis tiller, let it warm up for a minute or two before you use it. Then, before you put your tiller away, let it idle for a minute to give the engine a chance to cool down. If you follow the normal starting procedure, you should have no problem starting your tiller.
But just on the off chance that you do have problems, here's what to do. Say you've tried the normal starting procedure, but your tiller won't start. First, make sure the start-stop switch is on start. If the switch was on stop when you pulled the cord, you may have flooded the engine. Here's how to check. First, examine the spark plug. Use the special wrench that came in your Mantis handy item kit. Or use a 3/4-inch spark plug wrench. Then unscrew the spark plug. Is the end of the spark plug wet? If so, the engine may be flooded. Use a paper towel or a clean rag to dry the spark plug. Then, while the spark plug is still out of the engine, pull the starter cord several times. Next, replace the spark plug. Use the wrench to tighten it and replace the cap. Then, push the choke button in to open the choke and pull the starter cord another 3 or 4 times. Now pull the choke button out. And once again, pull the starter cord 3 or 4 times until the engine starts and then stalls. Finally, open the choke and pull the cord a few times. The engine should start and run. That's how to start a flooded engine when your spark plug is wet. But what if your spark plug is dry? Check to see if the fuel line is blocked. This is the fuel line. It runs from the fuel tank to the carburetor. Remove it at the carburetor end. Just pull it out. Fuel should drip slowly from the line. If fuel does not drip from the line, check the line for any bends or pinches. Kinks in the line can restrict the flow of fuel to the engine. Just straighten out the line, then follow the normal starting procedure. What if you have the opposite problem? The fuel is dripping too freely from the fuel line. In that case, the line may be disconnected from the fuel filter. You'll find the filter inside the fuel tank. Just reattach the line to it. Now replace your spark plug, prime the plastic bubble, pull the starter cord and go. And remember, never use starting fluids. Starting fluids will cause permanent engine damage. Using them will void the engine warranty. Now let's go to the garden. Did you know your Mantis tiller can walk? Just squeeze the throttle gently and let the tines tiptoe across your yard. Or if you prefer, do the following. Make sure the engine is off. Use one hand to grasp the carrying handle. Use the other hand to hold the handlebars. Then lift your tiller and carry it out to your garden. But never carry your tiller the way this gardener is doing. If you do so and the tines engage, you could suffer serious injury. Now you're ready to use your Mantis tiller. If you've seen other tillers, your Mantis tiller may surprise you. It tills best when you pull it backward. You see, when you pull your Mantis tiller backward, you'll give extra resistance to the tines, so they dig deeper and better. First, pull your tiller backward. Then let it move forward a little bit. Then pull it backward again. It's much like running a vacuum cleaner. Its unique curved tines spin up to 240 revolutions per minute. Of course, tilling is just the beginning. This work-saving wonder will weed your gardens all season long. First, make sure your tiller is shut off. Then switch the tines to the cultivating position. Remove the tines from the axle. Place the right tine onto the left axle. Place the left tine onto the right axle. Note that the tine points now curve toward the back of the tiller. Reinsert the pins. Now guide your Mantis tiller where you want to weed. pull your tiller back slowly, then let it move forward a bit in a gentle rocking motion. It will slice and shred the weeds and bury them as you go along. And since it gently works the soil's surface, it won't hurt your plant's fragile roots. Best of all, your Mantis tiller will weed anywhere, even in very tight places, without damaging delicate plants. All season long, your Mantis tiller makes weeding a pleasure. Here are some tips that will help you get years of trouble-free service from your tiller. First, check your air filter once a month. Loosen the wing nut on the side of the air cleaner cover. Then take off the cover, making sure to clear the choke button. The air filter is the white felt pad on the inside of the air cleaner cover. If it's dirty or moist, remove it. Use a brush to remove debris from the pad. You may use a cleaning solvent, but don't use gasoline. If the air filter is so dirty that it won't come clean, you must replace it. Insert your clean filter inside the air cleaner cover. Fit the cover back over the air cleaner, clearing the choke button and making sure the air filter seals to the cover. That's all there is to it. Once a year, you should also check the grease level inside the worm gear housing. Remember, the worm gear housing begins at the base of the handles and runs down through the red hood. Unscrew the cover plate. Then, check to make sure the grease comes almost to the top of the housing. If it doesn't, squeeze in some lithium number 0 grease, or the equivalent. This is the only way you can add grease to the worm gear housing. And please, be careful not to overfill. If the cover plate gasket has chips or cracks in it, you should replace it. You can order a new gasket directly from Mantis. After you've used your tiller for a few seasons, you may want to replace your fuel filter before any blockage occurs. Remember, the fuel filter is located inside the tank. Also, clean out any debris which may have accumulated in the fuel tank. The carburetor on your Mantis engine is preset at the factory for sea-level conditions. This provides the most fuel-efficient and environmentally sensitive operation possible. If you live above 3,000 feet, your carburetor may need further adjustment. Remember, each time you use your tiller, it's important to allow the engine to warm up at least 2 to 3 minutes before using. Otherwise, serious damage could occur to the engine. Before making any adjustments to your carburetor, check to see that you have a clean air filter. Also, make sure the muffler spark arrestor is clean and doesn't need replacing. You can check your Mantis owner's manual for more details on this procedure. If your engine runs rough or stalls, you may need to adjust the carburetor and idle screws. We're removing the air cleaner cover so you may see the adjustment screws more clearly in this video. The carburetor and idle screws are easily adjusted with the air cleaner cover in place. The 2 carburetor adjustment screws are located next to the black choke button. The red screw is the high-speed adjustment. The white screw is the low-speed adjustment. First, remove the tines from the axle. Then start the engine and let it warm up for 2 to 3 minutes. Now run the engine at high speed and rapidly pull the choke out and push it in 2 times to clear air from the fuel system. Then stop the engine. Now turn the red high-speed screw counterclockwise all the way to stop. Then turn the white low-speed screw halfway between the counterclockwise and clockwise stop positions. Now start the engine again. Make sure it's warmed up, then adjust the idle screw. You'll find the idle screw right below the red and white carburetor adjustment screws. It stands by itself. Turn the screw clockwise until the axle begins to turn. Then turn the screw counterclockwise until the axle stops. With the engine still running, you'll finish the carburetor adjustment. Run the engine at full speed 2 or 3 seconds to clear out any excess fuel, then return to idle. Now accelerate the engine to full throttle several times to check for a smooth transition from idle to high speed. If the engine hesitates, turn the white low-speed screw counterclockwise 1/8 of a turn. Then accelerate the engine. Repeat the adjustment until you get a smooth transition to high speed. The handles on your Mantis tiller conveniently fold down for easy storage and transport. Just loosen the two knobs where the lower and upper handles connect to each other. You can fold the handles forward so they rest on the lower handles, or you can fold them down and up against the lower handles. If you use this method, make sure you tighten the knob so the folded upper handles stay in place. Your Mantis tiller is now a compact little unit that's easy to carry, store, or load in a car. At the end of the gardening season, follow a few easy steps before you put your tiller away. First, drain the fuel tank. Then, start your engine and let it run until it stops. This will run it dry. Next, let the engine cool down completely. Then use a 3/4-inch spark plug wrench to remove the spark plug. Pour a teaspoon of 2-cycle engine oil into the cylinder hole. Pull the starter cord several times. This will coat the cylinder wall with oil. Now put the spark plug back into the hole and store your tiller in an upright position in a clean, dry place. The handles can be folded or left extended. Next season, when you're ready to put your tiller back to work, take a few additional steps. If you folded the handles for storage, put them back into the extended position. Remember to tighten both handle knobs securely. Now, remove the spark plug. Pull the starter cord several times. This will clear oil from the combustion chamber. Now, wipe off any oil that's on the spark plug. Replace the plug. Use the normal starting procedure to start your tiller, and you're ready to go. A great way to keep your Mantis tiller running in tip-top condition all season long is to order the Mantis Handy Item Kit. It has everything you need to maintain your tiller, or for those just-in-case emergencies. The kit contains Mantis premium quality 2-cycle engine oil in convenient pre-measured bottles, a spark plug, 2 air filter pads, 2 tiller tine retaining pins, a combo wrench for spark plugs and other fittings on your tiller, a fuel tank funnel, and a tube of tiller transmission grease. If you order your Handy Item Kit now, you'll have everything you need right when you need it most. Just fill out the enclosed order form or call 1-800-366-6268 toll-free. You've already seen how to use your tiller for tilling and weeding, but did you know you can do even more? Just slide on the affordable Mantis attachments and take care of a wide range of outdoor tasks. If you're a vegetable gardener, try the Mantis Planter Furrower. Just attach the planter furrower to your Mantis tiller and dig shallow furrows for planting beans and corn. Or use your planter furrower to plant flower bulbs, to hill corn or potatoes, to dig irrigation ditches, to build raised beds, and much more.
This is the first time I've used the planter furrower attachment, so it's something new. But the way it opens up the ground, it sure beats hoeing it up with a hoe.
The Mantis Plow is the ideal planting attachment for gardeners who want to form straight, uniform furrows quickly and easily. The plow connects to your Mantis tiller in just a few minutes. The spinning tines propel the plow forward, and the simple depth adjustment lets you form furrows that are the perfect depth for whatever you are planting.
I love the Mantis plow attachment. It allows me to make nice, straight, uniform rows in my garden, and the depth adjuster is so easy to use. It's great.
And when it's time to landscape your property, try the Mantis Border Edger. This ingenious tool cuts clean edges along paths, walks, and hedges, and around shrubs, trees, and flower beds. Just remove your tilling cultivating tines, slide on the wheel and the edger, insert the retaining pins, and you're ready to roll.
The border edger is great. It's so fast. I can trim real fast and real clean, and in no time I'm done and off to something else.
Here's another way to manicure your property. Slide the Mantis crevice cleaner onto either axle of your tiller. Then put the crevice cleaner wheel on the other axle. Attach the hood extension. Now you're ready to clean unwanted growth from sidewalk joints, brick patios, and walkways, even driveways. The crevice cleaner has 34 tough steel bristles mounted on a sturdy steel wheel, so it cuts right through weeds, grass, and debris in all those hard-to-reach places.
The crevice cleaner is a great tool for cleaning the grass from my walks and driveway.
If you do a lot of edging, you'll appreciate the Mantis wheel kit. The wheel kit attaches easily to the worm gear housing and the lower handlebars. Of course, you can use it simply to wheel your Mantis tiller out to your garden. But you'll appreciate it most when you're using your border edger or your crevice cleaner. You see, it gives your tiller added stability without adding a lot of weight. And you can remove it in seconds when you're ready to go back to tilling.
With the wheel attachment, it's even easier. You can just roll it right across your yard, right to where you want to go. And when you did use it with the edger, it even stabilized it more and made it even easier to handle.
Want a better lawn while you're at it? Try the Mantis Lawn Dethatcher. It quickly removes harmful thatch so your lawn can breathe and dry. Just take off your tilling cultivating tines and slide the dethatcher attachments onto the tine axles. Make sure you put the right-hand dethatcher onto the right axle and the left-hand one onto the left axle. The picks should point downward as they strike the lawn. Now slip on the hood extenders. That's all there is to it. Make 1 or 2 passes per year over your entire lawn. You'll eliminate thatch and develop a healthy green carpet.
The dethatcher is easy to use. It's a great tool because it's so easy to take the tines, the tiller tines off the machine, pull a pin, slip the dethatcher unit together, put the pins back in, put the covers on, and crank it up and you're ready to go. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Want your lawn to thrive from the roots up? Try the Mantis Lawn Aerator. Each spring and fall, attach the aerator to your Mantis tiller. Its tempered steel blades cut tiny slits in the soil beneath your lawn. That way, water can seep through the soil's hard crust to reach thirsty roots. Air and nutrients can penetrate deeply. Your lawn will look greener, lusher than ever.
The aerator I found works, very well. It's certainly easy to operate. Certainly aerification with these heavy clay soils is important. The tool obviously does that very well.
Mantis will even trim your hedges. Just purchase our hedge trimmer attachment. Just pop the powerful Mantis engine right onto your trimmer. The trimmer will shear through branches up to 1 inch in diameter. It will prune and manicure shrubs and small trees quickly and easily.
I think it's lovely. It'll make my job so much easier.
Let's face it, the Mantis attachments make a great machine even better. For more information or to order your Mantis attachments, call 1-800-366-6268. Be sure to ask for our sales department and have your Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express card handy. And if you didn't order a handy item kit with your tiller, you can order one now by calling the Mantis sales department. You'll have all the items you need to keep your tiller running smoothly for years. The Mantis Tiller Cultivator. We make gardening easier.